And it transpired that you suffered a heart attack on that previous Friday night when there was the controversial decision in the fight between Tyson Fury and John McDermott, in which your man lost. So it seems in a strange way that this was an undetected condition that you had, which was brought on by two successive barrel loads of stress.
Yeah, I mean, I had been having sort of pains in my chest quite back away. I mean, I do live a very stressful life. I mean, people will talk about stress, but let me tell you something. Being a boxing promoter is a very stressful lifestyle. You know, I hear football managers saying what they have to put up with and that, but, you know, I think we as boxing managers or promoters have a hell of a lot more. We're a very small world. You know, our fighters only have one fight to get things right in. We're all fighting for television dates that are very scarce at the moment. We're all trying to get our sport in the newspapers, which is quite hard. You know, something like this has really put the sport in the papers, but not for the right reasons. And something like the John McDermott thing brought a lot of attention to the sport over the weekend, but again, not for the right reasons. So I take the stress as part of the lifestyle, and you have to learn to deal with it. You know, I think I'm sitting there, I think I'm challenging the best out there, but it is stressful, yeah.
And no more so than on that Friday night. But if you hadn't realised then on Friday night, and you didn't, that you'd had a heart attack, whatever the signs were, had you not found Darren in that state on Monday, then you would have been walking around with this undetected condition.
Well, the hospital said I was walking around with a time bomb in my body. That was the quote to use. One of the doctors said, you actually got a time bomb in your body. How you've been going, we don't know. I mean, you know, one person's died and I'm still here. I don't know how to answer that.
So, in a sense, within this tragedy, you got lucky.
Yeah. You could say that maybe there's a reason why I'm still here, you know. I honestly don't know.
How do you feel about the loss of Darren? Not as a prospect, but as a friend and as somebody you got to know very well.
I don't know how I feel. I feel numb about it, to be truthful. I still can't come to the reasons why he done it. I just can't come to the reasons why. Why would someone at 27 with the world at their feet do this? It's, as I said, you know, I've been depressed. I'm sure you've been depressed. I'm sure lots of people have been depressed. But would they go as far as taking their life? You know, and that's probably the question that will haunt me for the rest of my life. Why did someone of this age do that?
And will it haunt you that you weren't able to stop him doing it?
Well, the only way I can answer that is, yeah, I would, you know, if I could have stopped him, we would have done. But I believe we had no idea he was going to do it, because maybe we would have accelerated what we had in place for him. But I have been told by not just one counsellor, by a number of people who deal with suicides, because I've met a number of people at the hospital, that if it's in their mind, you may stop them the first time, you may stop them the second time, but if it's in their mind, they will eventually do it. So maybe he was a walking time bomb as well.
So, what are we now, 10, 11 days on? You said that his father was ranting down the phone to you, and you were probably in shock then, but how do you feel now about him attacking you verbally like that?
Well, I constantly are seeing all the papers from Ireland. I am a little bit shocked at the accusations that are coming out of Ireland. I have yet to decide if I will speak to the Irish press to respond to all the accusations. This is the sort of first major interview I've done, read that Darren Sutherland, and you know, and still a lot of things I'm keeping back because I don't know if I want to say them or want to. I understand the family's grievance. I mean, grievance and anger is part of mourning, or you know, part of way of letting off of their steam. But to be angry at myself and Brian Lawrence, who has also been really hit by this, you know, and affected by this, I feel they are wrong. I have tried to contact the father. I actually did phone him. Again, he wasn't very receptive to the telephone conversation. He put the phone down. He accused my wife of saying stuff in the press. I texted him back asking him what paper and what is she supposed to have said, because we have collected every newspaper, and there was nothing bad that my wife has said other. She said she only spoke to the local paper in Bromley, where she talked about how he liked living in Bromley, how he liked the area, and how he used to come around the house. But there's nothing in the Irish paper, because we have had all them sent to us and we're having them all collected. And then I asked the father, I said, look, this is not doing anyone any good. We need to sit down and talk and maybe get to the bottom of this. I sent a text to that effect, which I still got the text on my telephone, and I've had no response to it. All I've had is responses through the newspaper. And I was told yesterday that the headlines in one of the papers out there, national paper, was Frank Maloney and Brian Lawrence have got a lot to answer for.
Why?
Please tell me.
What are the accusations that you said they're making in the Irish press?
Well, some of them that my camp was at loggerheads. There was a lot of infighting. That Darren wasn't getting the right attention. I don't know. This is all second hand, so I don't want to, and bits that you read. They are actually going on a television show Friday night on the most watched TV talk show. It's called The Late Late Show. It would be equivalent to Parkinson or David Frost over here. So I really don't want to make much more comments until I actually get a copy of that tape and see what they actually say. I hope they don't say nothing that is slanderous or very detrimental towards myself and Brian Lawrence or any of my team come to Joe Dunbar or what we done for the... I can honestly put my hand on my heart. I can put my head on the pillow at night and I can get up and look at myself in the mirror in the morning and know that my team done everything possible. This guy was 4-0. He was tipped as the best Olympian out there, showing the most progress in the professional world, being handled the right way. So please tell me what Brian Lawrence has done wrong or I've done wrong.
Well, that was Frank Maloney talking to Mike Costello.